Hello everyone, it's SuperPlayer. This video will focus on everything you need to know about the button props in Level Editor for Paint the Town Red as part of my logic series. Buttons are not too complicated compared to other logic components, but it is important to know all of their options. You can create a button from clicking the Edit Props tab and then going to the Other section, which is down here. The 4 button types are all at the top of this tab. You may notice immediately that these buttons have different shapes and colors, but these buttons are all exactly the same aside from appearance. Here's what they look like side by side here. The small button is generally used the most in levels because it can be more easily fitted into spaces than the tall buttons can. We'll use the small button as the main example in this guide. Selecting the small button with the Edit Prop tab will only display transform options and nothing else. This is also the case for the other buttons. Now let's go to the Edit Logic tab and select the Edit Logic sub option on the top left and press T. And we'll select one of the white circles over a button. We can now view the logic properties for this button. The logic effect up here can be toggle, turn on, or turn off. Setting it to toggle means that the button can only emit a toggle pulse to connected props. I have spawned in this arena trap prop, and I will connect the button to it by pressing T again and clicking on the arena trap. With this arena trap prop, it turns on and off with each button press. Setting a button to toggle will only ever trigger enemies into combat, and it cannot put them back into a pre-combat state. Setting a button to turn on will only ever turn connected props on, and setting a button to turn off will do the opposite and ensure anything connected to it turns off. This button turns on the trap. This button will turn off this one. The reason that these traps are toggling is because these buttons can be unpressed, which reverses their logic pulses. If a button cannot be unpressed, it will stay stuck green permanently and will only emit one pulse of its logic effect. It is important to note that other buttons can change a single connected prop. Buttons have a relatively low number of options themselves to go over here, but in other tutorials, buttons will be discussed in relation to the focus of said tutorials and how they can be applied. If you have any questions on buttons and their functionalities, I will do my best to answer in the comments. That will conclude the tutorial for buttons.